Now, the industrial engineering topic is a very, very important and interesting topic. But as a student, I have not enjoyed the topic, to be frank. I happened to study first time in my diploma. The final semester, there were two papers you had to study. One was a compulsory paper called Industrial Engineering, little dry subject. That's what I felt at that point of time, talking about rules, regulations, productivity, work study, PERT chart, CPM, so many things. And also, I had taken an elective subject called work study and production planning and control, and my teacher, I have to salute him. He brought us the book written by the ILO, International Labour Organization, on the work study and production planning control, and he was telling for a diploma standard it is little high level, but doesn't matter, better you study this so that up to MBA same book will be followed. So that is the way that book was brought to us and studied and thoroughly enjoyed. And today, to be frank, I have reached to this level. Of course, technology, lot of things we have done, but one of the important thing is that industrial engineering background and work study and production planning, whatever I have studied, every part of my life. And I was the project director for some time, and he was the project director. Narayanan was the project director of the Mark III project. I was the deputy project director in the C25 development. Later on, I became the project director. Every walk of life in ISRO, as well as private companies, I have worked 2 years, 1.5 years. Every time this topic has really helped in a very, very big way. And recently, I want to tell, we are having something around 65 projects, 65 project directors. So I can be very open. When I was reviewing the activities, I was asking them to present the PERT chart. And half of the people were confusing between PERT chart and simple bar chart. So they were putting all the things. And today I want to tell, we have instituted a system. All the project directors, project executives, we are giving a coaching on the industrial management and this type of aspects. And it is in that context when I was thinking, what is this industrial engineering? What about? I was just morning only I was thinking. It talks about the area on work study, O&M, production planning and control, materials management, value engineering, PERT, CPM, operation research, computer science, finance management, statistical quality control. And there are so many emerging systems. If a project director has to be a successful project director, without the knowledge on industrial engineering, I don't think anybody can be successful as a project director. And if somebody has to succeed as a good industrialist like Narayanan sir, and some of the things we don't learn, but we practice. Without our knowledge, we practice how to become a good industrial engineering expert. And in fact, this area is not only useful in industries, it is also used in multiple places. Take hospitals and supply chain management in the food delivery industries. So everywhere, this has got a great role. So thereby, I think the excellent August audience we are having for this. So let me come back my own experience on this particular area. I joined immediately after my diploma background. In fact, my entire higher education was only in ISRO. My engineering, MTech, PhD, everything was in engineering here. Before that, I worked in BHL. BHL, we were 80 people selected, and finally, after the 6 months training, they had to allot the area of work for us. And when the area work was allotted, I opted for operation planning and control area because I was so much interested in that area, because once you are in that area, you will understand very short time the entire dynamics of the organization. That is the major advantage. And the industrial engineering background people, really they are on high demand. In fact, I don't know how many of you are aware, IIT Kharagpur, there is a MTech course called Industrial Engineering and Management. And of course, I was one of the MTech students, best outgoing students at that point of time. But by default, I can tell you, the people who join there for industrial engineering, they are the best people who join. Because out of 20 students, mechanical 2 seats, chemical 2 seats, computer science 2 seats, like that it is distributed. And they understand, study everything. And now coming to the ISRO programs, ISRO programs, I want to tell I was 7 years, I was working as the director of Liquid Propulsion System Center. And initially, there was a thinking. I'm a core designer and technocrat after my MTech in cryogenic engineering, core designer of the cryogenic rocket engines. So, generally the designers, they feel they are the superior class of people at that point of time. But initially I was thinking like that for a few years. But as time passes, you understand that if the designers alone are doing fantastic job, the rocket and satellite will be only in the paper. And no rocket, no hardware will come out, no satellite will come out. So it is the all branches of engineering, including material science, manufacturing, industrial engineering, everybody has to work together, then only you will see the product. And industrial engineering people have done outstanding work in our organization. Whenever you talk about a project, there will be a project management office, and there are the people who really run the entire show to roll out the products. And of late, just before I left as the director, you can understand we were having 10 entities. Each entity we appointed one person with MTech industrial engineering background. Then you can understand the importance of that topic, how much it was given. Because they are the people who understand the overall dynamics. And overall, when you talk about productivity, when you talk about the machine loading, man loading, and optimized utilization of the entire resources, the productivity. Production is little different from productivity. Productivity, I think I need not explain to this audience how to improve the productivity of every person, every activity. And these are all the people who do this. And follow-up is one of the things. In fact, when I studied 1982, the functioning of work study and production planning department, the last function out of 5 functions, the last function is the follow-up activity. Follow-up looks like a simple word, but it's a very tough job. Because you are interfacing not with machines, you are interfacing with human beings of different chemistry, different characters. And then you should jive with everybody. I think Dattan sir have come in a long way, handling different type of characters and succeeding with everybody. And one of the successful directors, you please understand, he was the director for 3 centers. Nobody has got that opportunity. He was the director of Sririkota, then he became director of LPSC, became director of VSSC. And then you can understand the variety of people, how he has handled, how he has really done great thing. And when he was the director, we had the first successful indigenous cryo successfully flying. That also happened when he was the director. And then this person who is sitting here, Mr. Narayanan, don't take him very light. Very, very simple person, very nice language. He will talk very taskmaster. Taskmaster, not by rubbing way. Very decent language, very pleasant language he will talk, but ensure everybody is delivering things. And that is the type of people we are having. Dear friends, today we are here. At least I should share a couple of great accomplishments of ISRO. The Indian space program was started in the year 1962. 1963, November 21st is an important day. You all may be knowing. A tiny rocket was donated to us by USA. A small rocket. The Nike rocket was given, and the payload came from France, and then we assembled in Tumba and we launched. And August 1st, 1975 is another historical day. At that point of time, the top leaders of the country were really not convinced about space program. In fact, I was told that people are questioning why India needs television sets. Yes, you can understand, 1947 when we got independence, 97.5% people were below the poverty line. And average life of Indians were hardly 32 years. That means people were dying the age between 25 to 40. At that point of time, somebody is talking about space, human space flight, who will appreciate? And people were not convinced. It was 1975, August 1st. 2,400 television sets were kept in 2,400 villages of 6 states. And we requested a signal, again, satellite signal from America. From the ATS-6 satellite, the signal was sent. And we demonstrated for the first time the mass communication through the satellite technology. And 1969 ISRO was formed, 1969 August 15. And please understand, 1963, when America is donating a tiny rocket, they are building a rocket to place the 125 ton to low Earth orbit. 125 ton satellite to low Earth orbit they are building. At that point of time, they are donating a satellite. This is equivalent to, today, ISRO is having a 700-ton lift-off mass rocket. If I donate a RH-125 rocket of something around this much height to another country for studying rocket technology, what we'll be thinking about them, that was the thinking at that point of time. From that, last 50 years we have grown, and exponentially grown. Today, last month 30th, we placed a satellite called NISR satellite, NASA ISRO Synthetic Aperture Radar satellite. There are two important payloads. One is a L-band SAR payload. 10,300 crore is the amount what is spent by NASA and JPL NASA. And we have built another payload. And the satellite is made by us and placed in orbit by our launcher, the GSLV Mark II. And today, a country which was just requesting for a small, tiny rocket, we are rubbing shoulder to shoulder with the developed countries in the space technology. That is the type of growth what has happened. Now, last 6 months, there are three important activities with the developed nation USA. One was, the Axiom program. The second person, Subhashnu Shukla, we sent it to space, and the first person, we sent it to International Space Station. And you all know he is sent safely and he has come back safely. But there is little background on this. The role of Indians. The entire program was conceived by Honorable Prime Minister because he strongly felt for the Gaganyaan program, we are working on the Gaganyaan program, but to send a person so that he will gain confidence, get a lot of knowledge. And with that, this program was conceived and executed by ISRO. And Subhashnu Shukla is ISRO employee today. Even though earlier he was in Air Force, now he is ISRO employee. And myself and Mr. Mohan, he is there as the director LPSC, you can see him. And along with that, some 18-member team, we were also there in USA. And we had a great role to play in that important mission. Originally, the actual launch happened on 25th June this year. Original launch was scheduled, originally 29th May, then it was shifted to 8th, 9th, 10th, finally it was scheduled 11th. And on 9th, we had a meeting with them. The rocket was moved. After moving the rocket, the first stage is having 9 engines, and they are supposed to do a ground test, 7-second test. As per contract, they are not supposed to tell anything to us because our contract is with a private company. And finally, we asked what happened to the test. They told everything is fine. And 3 committees have cleared the test result. And the launch was scheduled on 11th morning, June 11th morning. And 10th early morning, there is a small news item I am reading. Morning 4:30 when I got up, I am reading a news. During the test, there was a minor liquid oxygen leak. To handle that, they are purging with helium. This is the only news item. And otherwise, everything is in order and launch is scheduled. And we demanded a meeting to understand what was the thing. And they were not ready to explain because, it's all developed countries. And then they told it's a very, very minor thing. Why we are wasting our time today? Because next day morning, 8:30 is the launch. And myself and Mohan was there. We were demanding morning 11 o'clock onwards. And nobody was bothering, and by noontime somebody came and tried to explain several minor things, everything is in order. Then we asked, if I am correct, 14 questions were asked, only one question was answered. Finally, we had to give a letter stating that, no, we are not convinced, unless the leakage is fully resolved, the rocket cannot take off, we are not going to participate. This is a letter effectively given. And it was a very embarrassing situation because 6,000 people from throughout the world has come. It is not only our astronaut, 3 more countries' astronauts are there. Finally, the launch had to be called off. On 10th evening, 5:15, launch was called off. And then it went to the highest level. Then they told what all the questions asked. One of the questions what we asked, simple questions only. Where is the leak? Anybody will ask, And then even for that answer was not there. Then they had to locate the leak. Next day morning, they came and they told they have located the leak. That was a happy news. And leak is because of a crack in the main field line. Then we asked, why don't you launch? Then nobody will launch with that crack. Surely if the launch would have taken place without our interference or our intervention, this would have entered with a big catastrophic situation. And today we are very happy that the Indian education system, ISRO knowledge, ISRO technological background has ensured calling of stopping a launch and ensuring. Finally, everything was corrected and Subhashnu has gone safely and he has come back safely. It is ISRO team which ensured calling of the launch and correcting and ensured the safety of 4 astronauts. So that much I want to tell. So then third program we are working with USA is in another 3 months. We are going to launch a Bluebird 2 mission. Bluebird 2, a 6,500 kg communication satellite, which is going to be lifted off using our Mark 3 vehicle. Thereby, you can understand 50 years back when we were tying our rocket in bicycle, I think those are actual photographs, not the artistic pictures. And from that, we have come a long way and you have grown to very high level. And to our credit, lot of satellites are launched, 132 satellites. And right now, 56 satellites are in the orbit. And Sintur operation, you all know, Sintur operation, the ISRO team has ensured whatever possible for ensuring the safety and security of every citizen of Bharat, we have ensured. I cannot talk beyond that in that topic, but we have ensured that we have done. 6 generations of launches we have developed, and we have launched the first rocket 1979, SLV-3. The project director was none other than APJ Abdul Kalam ji, and one of the greatest son of the India, Professor Satish Dhawan was the chairman, and of course there were a lot of people who were working for that program. But we claim that success is only 95% because the mission could not be accomplished. Rocket was built, everything. But then the 100th launch, next major milestone we consider as the 100th launch that happened this year, January 29th. You can understand, the entire ISRO team was so much enthusiastic, tensed, but then we were confident on the launch day. But today I want to tell, it was a perfect 100th launch which was accomplished, and we are written in the golden letters of Indian space program and Indian history. It was a grand successful thing. Coming to application, 1975, 50 years back, there was no space application, honestly speaking. Space was there, but no space application. But today there are 55 space applications: telecommunication, television broadcasting, weather forecasting, disaster warning and mitigation, navigation, and strategy management. There are so many places we serve the country. And without space application, we cannot think about India today, to be frank. Now, 35 years back, there used to be a program called Chitrakar. And Malayalam, exactly, I don't know equivalent. Tamil, there was a program, equivalent program was Oli Mulium. Every week, Friday evening, 8 o'clock to 8:15, if I'm correct, 5 songs used to be played. And if you miss that songs, you have to wait for one more week. That was the situation, and today, what has happened. And telecommunication, there was a time, if you have to make a 35 years back, or 40 years back when I joined ISRO, if you have to make a phone call from here to Delhi or way to Delhi, to Ernakulam, what has to happen? You have to go and wait in a trunk booth, and you will book, and there will be a lot of friends standing on the queue. And unfortunately, the moment you get the connection, within few minutes, it will get disconnected. Then everybody will be pressurizing you, please don't attempt to, please come back and stand in the queue. I have come. Tambanur, I have come like that. I have come in the queue once again. And today, from that, where we have come, really satellite technology has done great thing. Disaster warning and mitigation, lot of good things are done. There was a time, lot of people we used to lose, including tsunami, flood, cyclone. But today, we have not solved the entire problem, but to some level things are done. And everywhere we are moving forward. 9 places, India is number 1 in the world today. 9 places. Chandrayaan 1, finding water molecule, we are number 1 in the world. Chandrayaan 2, we are having the best camera. Who is having the best camera in the orbit, moon's orbit? It is India is having the best camera in the moon orbit. And Indian's photograph is the best photograph. 32 centimeter resolution. And Mars orbiter mission, we have accomplished, and 69 crore kilometers we have to go. And not only going, the rocket, this satellite is going with high velocity. And after that, you have to capture operating engine system developed in Valiyamala in Trivandrum after 295 days. Somebody is going on a vacation for 2 months and coming back and starting the car. You will understand what is the restarting after 2 months. But here after 295 days, everything was perfectly done. India is the only country, first country succeeded Mars orbiter mission in the first attempt. None of the developed country could do. And 1957, when you started your organization, that time the Sputnik was placed in orbit. Same country had a record of placing 37 satellites using a single rocket. We all debated, I think Datan sir may be knowing, Narayanan sir may be knowing, full debate happened in Tumba. Finally a decision was taken, we will place 100 satellites using a single rocket. Placing 100 satellites is very easy, but it should not hit each other. That is the tricky job. And India is the first country which placed more than 100 satellites, 104 satellites using a single rocket and made that world record for years to come. And of course, today USA has placed, but doesn't matter, 132. Given the opportunity, we can place even 200 also. So we are not competing with anybody, but we are the number one there. And the propulsion technology, cryogenic technology, the rocket engines have to take. The car engine and rocket engine, there is not much difference, honestly speaking. The car engine, what does it do? It takes either human being or objects from one place to another place. Rocket engines does same job. Either it takes satellite from ground to orbit, or it takes human being from ground to orbit. This is the job. But the difference is, car in Trivandrum maximum 70 to 80 km per hour only we can travel in Trivandrum road. But cable take car maybe 120 km per hour. To place a Chandrayaan 3, we have to give 37,000 km per hour velocity. So that type of engines we have to develop. So the cryogenic engine is one of the best chemical engines. This technology was denied to us. And other countries strongly felt that if this technology is denied, Indian space program will be limping. This is what is the idea. Today, thanks to those countries which really denied the technology, today, Indian education system, Indian scientists, ISRO team, and along with the industries, we have 3 engines, 3 propulsion systems we have developed, and India is one among 6 countries having that technology today with us. That's why our program is going fantastically well. Not only that, when we were developing, I think Murthy sir, he was the project director of Mark 3, driving us, and Kunnikumaran, one of his close friend, he was the project director. Later portion from him, I took over as the project director, and 5 years I was the project director. During the development, we have made 3 world records we have made. A technology which was denied. Only with 3 engines we have succeeded, and between engine test to flight compared to world history of record of 34 months, we have accomplished in 28 months, and a stage level test against 10 months of world average time we have done in 34 days, and we are having 3 world records, and number of places we are becoming gradually world leaders, and lot of things are done. And right now 56 satellites are in the orbit. Another 3 years we want to make it to almost 3 times of this number. And then we are going to have our own human space flight program. We are going to have the Chandrayaan 3 is a very important thing, you all know. India is the only country, first country soft landed near the south pole of moon on August 23, 2023. This was another historical feat what was done. And we are working on Chandrayaan 4, Chandrayaan 5, and we are going to have our own space station. And we are going to have we are building a rocket, first rocket SLV-3, whatever we developed, the capability is only 35 kg to low Earth orbit. Today we are building a rocket, conceiving a rocket to place 75,000 kg to low Earth orbit. You see what is the type of growth, what has happened in the Indian space program. In a nutshell, I can tell by 2040, based on the vision and direction given by Honorable Prime Minister, we will be in par with any other spacefaring nation in terms of launcher capability, in terms of satellite technology, in terms of application, in terms of ground segment, everywhere we will be in par. One should go to Sriharikota to understand our infrastructure. When Datan sir was there, one of the propellant plant, 207-ton propellant motor case, we can cast 207 tons in a case, and Mark 3 that is there, so you should see the huge facilities. We are having launch pads, and come to VSS, you can see the facilities. Huge infrastructure is built, and I can only summarize, in summary I can tell, by 2040, Indian space program will be in par with any other country in terms of all the capabilities, and will be contributing for the Viksit Bharat of 2047. In fact, we want to be little advanced. 2047, before we declare, we should be advanced. Now, towards this, the success of Indian space program is not only by ISRO team. ISRO team is yes required, but all industries. There are 450 industries who are supporting us from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, and east to west. People are supporting, and there are a lot of industrial partners here. Mr. Sahabuddin ji, he was earlier with us, now he is a great industrial partner. There are so many people, I think I don't want to mention. And now, when you talk about the Indian space program and its growth, we strongly, this organization is a successful organization because of a couple of reasons. Number one, we strongly believe in teamwork. Number two, we strongly believe the organization and the country is above individuals. We strongly believe that merit only should rule in ISRO. We strongly believe. And there are reasons. And the role of industrial engineering graduates. Industrial engineering graduates don't think that the people, those who have really practiced and studied industrial engineering, the people who came to the organization of late, they read and understand. I am not, I have studied 1 or 2 subjects, but my topic, after I joined, within 3 months, I was given one book by my boss, Mr. Chatranathan. He gave a book because we had to draw a PERT chart. Then he called me and he told we had to draw a PERT chart for PSLV nozzle production. Honestly speaking, I know only few sentences in what I have studied. He gave a book, PERT chart. So 4 days I studied end to end, then draw a PERT chart. So the practicing engineers. And today, I cannot imagine a ISRO, I cannot imagine a industry without the knowledge and background of practicing industrial engineering people. So it is in that context, I know each and every one of you are so important in your own organization because of this knowledge and background. Also, the teaching faculties, they are all, to be frank, I see the teaching faculties are so close to my heart. Because for me, my teachers and my superiors, 13 bosses I have reported in ISRO, whenever I talk, I think they are gods. With that only I talk to them. So all my teachers I look at in that direction only. So with that, I think I don't want to dwell further. And let me thank all the industry partners, those who are supporting for Indian Space Program on this occasion, and also the CET team who is co-hosting, all your alumni, including Rajarajan Mohan, 2 directors are sitting there. So in our setup, director and chairman, to be frank, the gap is very small only. There is not much gap, and so your alumni are really doing great job. So let me also thank the principal and CET team for that wonderful contribution of the CET for Indian Space Program. And with that, I know the 2 days program is going to be very good, and you are all going to enjoy. So once again, let me thank the organizers for giving me this great opportunity to be with you on this very important day and with a great August audience. Thank you. Jai Hind.